Welcome to Golden Gate Canyon State Park, one of our favorite places to ride in the Denver metro area. Not too far away from Denver, probably about a 45-minute drive west. And it's a beautiful day, not super hot, which is nice. And since it's a state park, you do have to pay upon entry. Currently it's $9. And what we realized today is that while there are actually plenty of parking spaces within the park, there aren't that many pay stations, so you have to kind of be aware of when you pass a pay station. You probably want to pay right there, otherwise you might get stuck far away from a pay station and you don't want to risk getting a ticket. But we managed to find one and got a really good spot to park too, even though there's a lot of people out today. But right now on this part of the trail there aren't that many people, which is super nice. Feels kind of private. Plus it's just really beautiful here. Since we got a decent amount of precipitation over the last few weeks and months here, it's very green and lush and makes for a really pretty ride. So right now we're on Mule Trail and we're kind of doing a big loop all around the park in the clockwise direction. I think this is a particularly pretty part of the trail here. Lots of pretty parts. Plus it's a pretty variable trail, so there's some flat kind of single track parts like this through the meadows, and then there's also a steep climb that's coming up and some techie features on the climb and some really fun flowy downhill parts with a couple of challenging switchbacks with some techie features in them. So definitely a good mix of stuff. Here we go, first steep climb. Legs are still getting warmed up. All right, first climb. Oh, I can't even talk. First steep climb, not cleep stime. First steep climb behind us, and I definitely have to catch my breath. I think we're at something like 8,000 or 9,000 feet here, which we usually ride around, I don't know, 6,000 or 7,000 feet. So even a quote-unquote small elevation change of a couple thousand really makes a difference. Even though this is pretty close to Denver, still drive quite up high into the mountains to get here. First downhill, woohoo! Yeah. All right, now comes the hard climb, chunky and techie in some spots. Get it? Most of this stuff is cleanable. There are some really chunky sections up here that I've never been able to clean, especially because they're in a switchback. And typically there's a lot of people on this section of the trail, so it's a little bit hard to get the momentum to clean everything. But we try. Plus it's fun. Now this switchback here is particularly tricky. I've actually never done it downhill, which it should be possible to do downhill. I don't think it should be too bad, but it seems impossible to clean this on the uphill. God. First you'd have to get over this and then find enough momentum to get over this route. Not even talking about that. So this section here is really close to an outlook here in Golden Gate Canyon State Park that a lot of people come to, and it's really beautiful. You can see a lot of the mountains out to the west. Yeah, it's really pretty, but it's not one of my favorite sections because there's just a lot of people, plus it's super rocky. So this part of the trail is called Raccoon Trail, just so you know, if you ever want to ride out here. And here's the little lookout I was talking about. With some beautiful views. So here we get back on Mule Deer Trail after having done a little bit of Raccoon Trail past the lookout hut. We're still going in a clockwise direction, of course. This part of the trail is super fun. There's a lot of tricky technical sections that I've never been able to clean, but it's still fun and super pretty. A couple months ago we came out here with our snowshoes and we hiked this exact trail. It was super pretty. A lot of snow. Yeah, I really like this part of the trail a lot too. It's really pretty. There's almost no one on this part. I think most people, especially the hikers, tend to stick on Raccoon Trail because it's close to that lookout hut and you can do a little loop on Raccoon Trail and come back. Because if you want to do a whole loop on Mule Deer Trail as a hiker, that's pretty long. You'd have to do an out and back. I open up my suspension. Yeah, this part's super fun. Does anyone else have this problem that your nose just runs constantly when you're outdoors? I mean, I do have allergies, but right now they're not that bad. But whenever I'm out riding, especially if I'm exerting myself on like the uphill, my nose is just running the whole time. Anyone else had issues with this? And I get lazy. I don't want to take my Kleenex out every minute, so I'll end up sniffling a lot or wiping my nose on my sleeve. It's just not great, but you do what you must. This part is also really pretty. Woohoo! Actually, maybe this is my favorite part. Woohoo! Woohoo! part's really pretty. So pretty.
Yeah.
Woo. Yeah. Yeah, this part is really fun. Even if there's some switchbacks that I can't get because they're too techie, still super fun. Yeah, that downhill is super fun. Even though I didn't get everything. Oh gosh. Whoop! That's narrow. Two and a half hours for roughly 11 miles. That was a great ride. And we're back.